video, we are going to talk about table of contents. First of all, let's open up our master template. Or actually, let me open up a book that has been built on the master template. All right, in our master template, we have a table of contents pre-built. Okay, now I typically do not include table of contents for novels. They're not needed, so I just don't include them. But let's say this was a nonfiction book and I need to include the table of contents, so I'm going to add in a page, I'm going to add in another page, base it on an F master because I don't want I don't want the page numbers on it, but I want it to start lower. And I'm going to drop my table of contents in here. Now, our template comes with a TOC already built. If you utilize the styles properly, the table of contents should work as long as you have your chapter title set to chapter title, the style for chapter title. You have your other titles set for, your like about the author, acknowledgments, and things like that. You have them set to other titles. And then if there's any parts in the book, which this book does not have any parts, if you use the part title menu. All right, so the table of contents is already set up. I tell it for chapter titles to use the TOC chapter title style that's set up in the paragraph styles, and then have the page number after entry. And then same with the other titles, we have a style setup called TOC other titles. If we were using part titles as well, we have another style setup for part titles. This book only has other titles and chapter titles, so I do not need the part titles, but I don't need to delete it from the table of contents. Okay, so if you've already deleted the placeholder table of contents that's in the template, you can easily put it back in. What you'll need to do is go to Layout, Table of Contents, click on OK. That's going to give you this loaded cursor, which you're just going to drop into your text frame. And what happened? There is nothing showing up but a bunch of blank pages that it added. Well, this is, our template is set to be 6 by 9, and this book, we went to a 5 by 8. So if we open up the text frame a little bit, we're going to see that our chapters are actually there, but they have this issue in that they don't fit. All right, so to make them fit, we have to go in and change our tab for that style. So the paragraph style is for TOC chapter title. So here's all our TOC styles. So TOC chapter title, we are going to edit the tabs. All right, so here's our tabs. Here is our right tab stop that has a dot leader in it. So all you have to do is drag that right tab stop to where it should be on your margin. You're going to have to do this whenever you're adjusting the page size, because that is a right tab stop, a right align tab stop. All right, so here we go. But still, all this other mess. There's because this one has some character styles applied, so I did some manual work to it, so I'm just going to clear the overrides and clear that up and delete the paragraph marks. So now you will notice, well, what's this? If we look at page 3, for some reason it's bringing in something is assigned. Let's see if we can figure out what is assigned. Author name. Oh, that's because I have this set as chapter title, so it's bringing in the that name in our TFC. So I'm just going to change it to that. I'm not going to save this since this book is already completed, and then that should make it go away. Edit, update table of contents. Whoops. you got to update table of contents, and that'll fix it. But those errors that you fixed before will come back, so we have to clear those. All right, so here is the table of contents. Now, I have these auto-numbered in the style, but since she doesn't have like actual chapter titles, she just has the, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 2, 3. We don't need the auto numbers, so we're going to remove that from the style. Okay. Now, you'll notice that chapter 13, chapter 14, things are a little off, so we're going to need to do some work. Me personally probably wouldn't make them in all caps, and then acknowledgments is all off. So what you would need to do to make it work properly, we're going to go to the very end and fix. You can't tell here because these are in special uppercase and stuff like that, so you can't tell what's in all caps or not. So I'm just going to make a couple of tweaks just so you can see how it changes. So epilogue, and then let's just go ahead and do this one, chapter 38. I'd probably do a find and replace here. Actually, we'll do that. So this is our chapter title style and not chapter number. So we are, what is this? Chapter character. Oh, okay, this will be a good example to use because the way I set it up. So find format, we're going to find our chapter title format, and we're going to find where it says chapter and replace it with chapter. All right, so that's going to make all of those title case instead of all caps. And let's see what that will do to our to change our table of contents. So we're going to go back here. Let's also look at this also by, we're just going to make the A all caps and the B all caps. Now, and then chapter 13 and chapter 14, it should fix itself. We need to update the table of contents. They're not live cross references, so we have to fix these ourselves. I mean, we have to update it anytime we make changes, so that's something important to note. I'm going to do one quick thing. This front matter, these are coming through as page numbers. As regular numbers, we want them to be Roman numeral. So I'm going to right click at the very beginning on FM1 and change them to Roman numerals. And then we start page 1 with chapter 1, which is the way it should be. All right, so now we're going to go back to the table of contents and I'm going to update it. We're going to clear out all the overrides that I have. But now you can see that everything is all caps. Oh, and I just noticed an error we have here. We suddenly switch from 1, 2, 3, from spelling out the chapters to going numerals, so I'm going to have to fix those for her. So that's how the table of contents works in our template, right? And these do become links in ebooks as long as you export it with that TOC as the navigation TOC in the ebook export menu. All right. Let me close this and not do anything to it. Now, here is another book. Now, this is an older book. I don't have any, one of the fonts, I'm missing a font, so I have a bunch of errors, so some of it's going to look funny. But this book is set in parts, okay? And we also have front matter and some back matter. So this front matter acknowledgments, the note on the use of gender-specific pronouns, introductions, about the author, organizational contacts. These in the book, if we go to those pages, are all assigned an other title page, other title paragraph style. So the key to building a good table of contents is to make sure you have paragraph styles set up and you are consistent with them. All right. The other thing you need to think about table of contents is the actual structure of the book. If it is a nonfiction, you could have part titles, then you could have chapter titles, then you could have heading 1s, heading 2s, heading 3s, and on and on. What specific categories do you want to show in the table of contents? So for this one, we have our part titles, and then we have our chapter titles. I could also add in, let's see how this book is done, I don't know, second vision. All right, so we've got some heading 2s. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and add in a heading 2 to our table of contents, all right? So I'm going to go to Layout, Table of Content Styles, and I'm going to edit it, all right? So we want to add heading 2s. So we need to add our heading 2s from our style list over here. Okay, so here's heading 2. I'm going to add it. And I am actually going to create a new paragraph style. And I'm going to say TOC heading 2. I'm going to base it on TOC heading 1. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay. We want the page number to be after the entry. And then we're going to click on OK. Then we're going to click on OK. And then we are going to update the table of contents. You will notice that, hold on, let me show y'all something. If you use hard line breaks in certain things, when you do your table of contents, you can click on remove forced line break and it will get rid of it. All right. All right, so here we have our heading 2s are now in here. Now, why are these bold? And this is actually a formatting error on my part, is that the heading 2s, let's see, this is on page 72. Whoops. It's because this is set to a character style of bold. And we don't need it to be because it's already in the style. I would have normally gotten rid of that. So I'm just going through. I don't want to get rid of the superscripts. So in some cases, I will do a search for heading 2s and get rid of the bold. All right, so now we're going to update, and now those heading 2s are in here. All right. And since these are heading 2s, I want them to be in a little bit. And these are in all caps, so we might as well use the all caps to be consistent. So that's kind of a basic how you can build a table of contents. Now, I want to find another example of another thing that you can do with table of contents. Trying to remember all the jobs and what has what. Okay, I think it's definitely this one. Introduction, what is comfrey? What is trauma comfrey? Sports and other injuries, colon, healing sprains, strains, and bruises. But you notice that in our headers, it says sports and other injuries, but yet all of these are one, they're not broken up. So how did we do that? Okay, we set up a character style that says running header short chapter title, and we select just what the shortened version that we want, assign that character style, and these headings up here are based on that character style. You can also use that character style in your table of contents if you want the short headings. So that is just a quick little tip for you. So I hope that helps. Table of contents can be very complicated, but if you think about the structure of your document before you build your table of contents, what you need to show in the table of contents, make sure you used appropriate styles throughout. All your chapter titles are called chapter titles. All your heading ones are heading ones. All your heading twos are heading twos. You can build your table of contents with ease. Styles are essential in building a proper table of contents, so make sure you use those. All right, I hope this is helpful.